Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Carolien and this is episode 132, part 2. You can find me everywhere online as Carolien, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, Ko-Fi, everywhere, making, whatever you can think of, Carolien. And I have a web shop, colourfulcreativity.nl. Well, I hope you enjoyed part 1 with the socks and the overview of everything. We are now going to dive into other, just category other than socks or upper garments, basically. Yeah, tops, sweaters, jumpers, cardigans, etc. That will be part 3. I'm splitting these up because in this time around Christmas and New Year's we're all super busy and a very long episode. I do not feel like sitting down for a very long episode at the moment. Also the editing will be very, very heavy. And yeah, I thought I would make it easier on myself, do a few shorter episodes and upload them on a shorter basis than one every 2 weeks. So every few days, a smaller one. Yeah, this time in between Christmas and New Year's is the first year that Robert is actually working. We were like, it's gonna be crappy weather. We are in full lockdown here in the Netherlands. And yeah, why the heck would I waste my vacation days when I'm working from home anyways? So we will be seeing each other. I've been bugging him today a lot because I needed to get all my stash from the attic downstairs, and yeah, I couldn't reach a few things and I needed his help, and I was shuffling things around so there would be more space, and we have just way too much stuff, and I am getting to get rid of stuff. I know I'm a hoarder. I know that now. I know that I have known that for a while, and now is the point where I'm at, like, no, I do not want this anymore. A, I'm buying a lot less, and B, I'm getting rid of stuff that doesn't fit me anymore. And I do not mean literally fit me, like clothes that don't fit me. Clothes is definitely another subject that I still have to tackle, but another time. But I mean, they do not fit into my current life anymore. For instance, things we got 12.5 years ago at our wedding that I've been looking at for over 12.5 years and already been thinking about, do I really like that? Do I want to keep that to keep the peace? Do I want to keep that because I got it from someone? Do I maybe like something else, and do I not get something else because I already have this, and yeah, I just have to make do with what I have? Yes. Just something simple as 2 elephant statues that are definitely not my taste, also not Robert's taste. We do not have anything with elephants besides the fact they're nice big animals, but yeah, you have things you really like and you want to collect, and you have things you really don't like and you think maybe we should say goodbye to that. We actually said goodbye to them. I asked my mother-in-law if it was okay, and she was like, of course it is okay. It was gifted to you from the heart, and when it doesn't fit you anymore, then just it is time to say goodbye. And there's a lot of stuff in this house where it is time to finally say goodbye, and I finally can. So with that, we're gonna start other projects. And in this project bag, I see you checking out my ball sack. I have a project that I'm not saying goodbye to. I still want it. I just have to figure out what to do with the crotch situation, but hey ho. This is the Ripple Butt Short by Jessie May Martinson. And the yarn I'm using is Colourful DK. Colourful something DK. I do not have a ball band because my own hand dyed. I think I only dyed a small batch for myself at that moment. And it is the colorway Nerd in the Attic. I wanted to see how that knits up. I dyed it the first lockdown that it was work from home. And it is very matching that it is still very current. The Nerd in the Attic, he's still here. But yeah, I really like how the yarn knits up and I really love how it looks. So that's definitely not going. I have to find the other tip protector so it doesn't go through the bag. Yeah, I probably need some extra length to get the crotch right and the waistband at the height I want it. So need some extra knitting on this. But it was in timeout because I didn't know what to do. Now I know. It's gonna stay in timeout for a while. I am not in need of that project at the moment. Then, yeah, 1 of 3. Yeah, I have them all. In this Tina and Me project bag from the Colourful Advent Calendar from last year, I have the teeny tiny beginnings of a blanket. It's just so bad. These are leftovers from my Advent Calendar project from last year. I knit with my 2020 Colourful Creativity Advent Calendar a scrappy V. And these are the leftovers from that Advent. And I am now knitting, I think it was called a Stitch in Time blanket, if I remember that right. Oh, and here is a ball band for the Scheepjes Invicta Glamour I showed you in the sock episode. And this is colorway 98520. So basically cream with really tiny sparkle. More of an iridescence than a sparkle. And yeah, this is like the 9 little squares with a border around it. So I was like, oh, when I do the tinier squares, then I can maybe get some done and have the bigger squares and then sew them together. And me and blankets, seriously. I'm keeping it though, because I like the idea. Just like I cannot say goodbye to this project in my Stitches and Loops project bag. Look! I actually made a blanket. I started this one. This was a Cozy Memories blanket and I showed you the back side, of course. I have some reason behind this. There is something, yeah, I think this is a roll of my mom's yarn that she used and gave me leftovers of. This is the same. This is some yarn we bought from one brand, just cheap sock yarn, a long time ago. This one is socks I knit myself. This was my first pair of socks. I actually knitted for my grandmother, and my grandmother, instead of giving them back to me because they weren't fitting that well, she just frogged them, reknit a pair of socks for herself with that yarn. This was my second pair of socks. I think I knitted for a friend because they turned out too small and they fit her perfectly. This is my third pair of socks probably. This is yarn I got from a friend in a mini swap. This is Dutch Wool Diva yarn my mom used for socks. And this is my own hand dyed mini skeins, all from the start. So yeah, there is definitely reasoning in this, and I have to keep them in a certain order, I think. And these were going to be the next ones, I guess. I think there's something going wrong there because, I don't know, I definitely use this yarn for socks myself. I think the fourth pair was actually a pair that fits and I still wear it, even though the bind off was really, really tight. And it still hurts, but I'm too lazy to undo that. Yes, I am. So yeah, I have the yarn ready, and when inspiration strikes to knit blanket squares, I can just grab it now. I found it back in the attic. Please don't. And then I have a third blanket. Deliveries. Oh well. I was at Blankets and this huge ass sock monkey bag from Colourful Creations from my lovely friend Monique from Canada has 1, 2, 3, 4 squares of crocheted squares. I mean 4 times 4, so 16 squares for a blanket. And this was my Riverstone blanket. I think the pattern was by Yelena Creations. And I have so much to do still. I even put it into a project bag because that was easier to put finished squares in this one with all the leftovers. Yeah, I need like 1 tiny ball per blanket and per square, and then it gets a border around a square with this color. And I started with all the meh colors, and crochet is just not in my future at the moment, or at least not a million blanket squares, because this bag is basically full of all these minis of stone washed and river washed yarn from Scheepjes. Seriously, I can just go in here and it's just all these minis that I'm not gonna do. These are the 4 colors I'm not using, also in there separately packaged, because a wonderful viewer and Instagram friend has offered to make it for me. Yes, you hear that right. Making the blanket for me. She offered it a long time ago. I said no, I just can't. I can't accept that. And I really should be making it myself, etc, etc. And it's time. She offered it again today. And I said, yes, I would like to accept your offer. So I will be packing this one up and sending it to her. That's about a quarter of the WIP's box gone. And also these 2 go with it. So that's a lot in one of my stash boxes going out. So that's minus another WIP. We were at 8 WIPs with the socks. I'm now at 3 that I showed you because this one is not staying. So this is in a ghost bag, glow in the dark by Jibberoo Sews, my Viajante. It got to see a little bit of progress this year on vacation, because that is what this is. This is a travel and vacation project for me, and it's been on the needle since 2018. No, 2016. The first time I went to the UK to the Geeky Puff and Knit Palooza, and 2018, 2019 was Cardiff. So yeah, 2016, November 2016, I cast this on, and it is fine. It will just keep traveling with me and growing slowly then. So that's 4. This is number 5, and I might actually try and finish this. This is 1 half done. Pot stir gloves, that was the name, by Glenna C. Here's the pattern. I actually have a printed pattern in this one. And the second one is also cast on already. And all the twisted rib for the cuff is done already. So just the hand, the cap and the fingers to knit. And to be fair, I do not mind the fiddly fingers that much, and the cuff twisted rib is way worse. The yarn I'm using is a Undercover Otter Squirm base, and this is July 2019 Clan of Igor's colorway. Right way around, Carolien. Yetch. So this is how it looks. It's a bit orange with some pinks and or a lot of pink and a bit of coral kind of color. I really like it, and yeah, if I really put some effort in, I might actually leave this one behind in 2021, and I would actually have done 30 finished objects this year. So maybe I should focus on this one for the next what is it, 3 more days? Might be. Then in my Star Wars bag. I was like, was it Star Trek or no? This is Star Wars. I have a cast on, and not a lot more, of a shawl, and this is it. What is it going to be? What is it going to be? It is in a gorgeous red, and it combines with a gorgeous golden yellow. And the yarn is Kashba from Handmaiden, which is a superwash merino, nylon and cashmere base. And this is going to be the Wonder Woman wrap. Here you go. And I think you started on the bottom. So I do wonder, I have to calculate where it actually starts, because if it is just this wide, it's gonna be way too small. But I think you increase here the whole way and it gets a lot wider. I am making the big one, so it says that it has an 86-inch span. 86 inch times 2.5, 60, yeah, 2 meters. Yeah, that's fine. Roughly 2 meters probably. So this one I'm keeping, and I hope that I ever find the shawl knitting oomph again. I have so many shawls and I wear them all the time. I'm like, why do I need new shawls? I have shawls lying around that I'm not wearing. I might actually just destash those and sell those. Would people be interested in buying hand knit shawls that are also knitters? I don't know. I'm not sure. Then in this Big Things Have Small Beginnings bag that is from Craftfulness, I have a hat. well, I have a hat is a big word. I have some ribbing. That's it. This was supposed to be a design project with Ampelmann from Germany, from Berlin. Like a red and a green Ampelmann should have been on the hat itself, but I couldn't get it working. This was something with a friend I would do together. Yeah, I tried to draw it and it would be intarsia or color work, but with color work it would be 3 color work and it would be difficult. And then yeah, intarsia is also not possible because somehow with the sticking out arms you would need such a long bit from where you were to where you have to go all of a sudden. So it was really difficult. and I just couldn't figure out how to do it. All I could think of is duplicate stitch now, and I am totally not up to doing that. This is gonna be frogged. This does not bring me any kind of joy. It only brings me a lot of pressure, and yeah, the yarn is gorgeous, but it's going into de-stash as well, I think. I'm not sure. It's definitely not gonna stay like this. I'm knitting this on small circular wooden needles. That's how old this is, because I didn't even have my metal needles back then. Because everybody told me that wooden needles were so nice. I think this is the project where I started to figure out it wasn't nice, and I already broke 2 or 3 tips of this Knit Pro wood needles thingy. I'm very good at breaking wooden needles. Really good. It's a special talent I have, breaking wooden needles. So those are all my other projects, and next up will be all my sweaters, tops and upper garments. I mean, we are now at 6 projects. With 8 is 14. Okay, it's a lot. It sounds still reasonable, especially if you count all those 8 as mostly single socks and just needing 1 sock. Knowing myself, I can knit a sock in a day if I have to, but in a week, 2 definitely. So yeah, I will see you again for the next part of this WIP situation. Bye bye.